Hello again, friends. Greetings from Huron Valley Aikikai Studios. It's day, I don't know what, maybe 5 of the great quarantine, and we're back. Shout out today to our sponsor, Brooklyn Aikikai. Brooklyn Aikikai, if you need a t-shirt, check out their full line at brooklynaikikai.com. Anyway, I'm waiting for my check, Rugan. Anyway, so our last video, if you don't know Rugan Savoka and Brooklyn Aikikai, go train there when we're allowed to do that again. Anyhow, last video we started with Zazen, kind of the foundation of everything really, just in terms of sitting and posture and breathing and being upright. So today we're moving up the chain, I guess you could say, and we're going to take everything that we did in the previous video up into standing and just do some basic breathing exercises. These are another great thing, a little bit more directly related to Aikido, but also in that same meditative aspect. And a way to calm yourself down, center yourself, get back in your body, get yourself in a place where you can extend positive energy out into the world. So I'll do a few. There's lots within Aikido. There's many that Chiba Sensei gave to us, many of which, I'll be frank, that I'm not sure that I remember how to do properly. So again, if you get a chance, Brooklyn Aikikai, other places as well. I can't probably take you through the whole curriculum of breathing exercises, but we'll do some basic ones. But a couple of basics about the breathing exercises we do. They're very similar to what we talked about in Zazen. The first being that when you inhale, you want to let the air go into your body as if it's being poured into your lower abdomen, and if you think about your lower abdomen as sort of a floor or the bottom of a glass that's filling up from there. So you don't want to inhale into your chest. You want to fill the glass from the bottom and let the air kind of come up. Now, there's a subtlety to this when you come into the standing position. Chiba Sensei used to describe what we want to try and do with our body as clenching your anus. You heard that correctly, clench your anus. Now, there's a little bit more subtlety to it than that. If you think about clenching your anus like you have to go poo and you don't want to, you'll basically get what you want, but really what you're doing is you are tightening up the muscles of the perineum, or the part in between the front and the back, in between your legs, if you will. I don't know how more delicately to put it. Women may know it also as a Kegel. Guys, figure it out. But that's what you're working with, is the pelvic floor, tightening that slightly. I'm getting a shaking of the head from Terry over there. I guess that wasn't cool. Tighten that up slightly, not clenching like, okay, but have the feeling of putting some tension in the pelvic floor, and then begin your inhalation. And actually that tension in the pelvic floor will help your breath go straight to your lower abdomen. But then it's got something, it's got a bottom of the glass to hit against and fill up against. Okay, so have that sense. Okay, again, don't strain ever with anything related to breathing, to Zazen, and any of that kind of stuff where you're monkeying around with your abdomen. No strain is the first rule. You do not want to herniate yourself, and it is possible if you go crazy, so don't go crazy. So all that being said, just sort of take a moment to see if you can feel that, and when you have a sense of that, we'll start with our basic our basic breathing exercise we do a lot of, which is your feet maybe shoulder width or so apart. And we'll start by inhaling with the arms coming up, and let the arms come out from the shoulders, palms up. Turn your hands over, come up on your toes, and exhale through your nose, back to your center, just with whatever your natural exhalation is. So inhale up, raise up on your toes, exhale. A cue that Chiba Sensei always gave, that I heard when I saw him demonstrate this, was that you want to imagine that you're exhaling through the palms of your hands. And if you really visualize this strongly and keep your hands alive, you may find that your hands and your palms start to get warm or even sweaty. And then you're generating some good energy that's being extended out through the palm of your hand. Okay? So you can inhale up one more time. And you can do this sort of thing as many times as you want. So that's one variation. You'll see lots of different variations of this basic stretch as well. There's nothing right or wrong about any of them. Just as basic as Idea is a slow movement as if you're moving your arms through water and coordinated with your breath. Second one that we do a lot around here that you'll see, you can inhale up. And then let your elbows come down against your ribs. And here you can kind of crunch your rib cage a little bit down into that ball of air that you've inhaled into your abdomen. Hold that, feel that. Bring your forearms together. Exhale. And at the very end of your exhalation, open your fingers and rotate your hands outward. Scoop this up. That's a second variation you can do. Again, do it as many times as you care to. If it feels good, it's fine. The third one that we do frequently at the dojo at the beginning of class or at the end of class is a little bit more straightforward. We're going to rotate the arms outward, inhale, and we're going to exhale, try and exhale all the air in your lungs all at once. And as we do that, we're going to bring the hands back to our center and rotate them back in. So it looks like this. And you can make it, if you do it strongly, it'll make that kind of sound. So go ahead and make that noise. And just like we discussed when we talked about Zazen the other day, try to notice that moment at the very end of the exhalation when you've expelled all of the air out, right before your breath naturally wants to come back in. It's a good focus point. You can find that moment where all the breath is out right before the next breath comes in. It's a good place to focus, and it helps to clear your mind of other concerns. So let's see. Another one you can do, and this is one of the very dynamic ones that Chiba Sensei used to do that actually come from a separate discipline or tradition in Japan called Shinshin Toitsudo, or sometimes called Japanese yoga. A series of breathing exercises coming from that tradition that Chiba Sensei studied. But we'll just do one for now. And this is it's a little bit more active. We're going to circle our arms backward, and with every circle backward, we're going to take an inhale. So it goes. And after you do 4 or 5, again, expel all the air from your lungs all at once. So this one will kind of really get you going a little bit more. As you do that exhalation, it's as if you're throwing both of your hands away from your body. You don't want to lean forward, but throw your hands out, let your arms extend away from you, and come down. So it looks like this from the side. You go. That's a good one to do if you feel like you need to energize yourself or wake up a little bit. So that's another thing you can do. And generally, you can go back to one of the other ones to quiet yourself down. Do this one again, this one again. If you want to come to rest in between any of these, another option you can do is to bring your hands together, put your left palm on top of your right palm, and shake your hands up and down right in front of your tongue, and so that the space, center of gravity, 2 inches or so below your navel and in front of your spine. And just kind of shake your hands up and down. Let that shaking radiate out through your body. This is a good resting or reset position and place to check in with yourself and see if there's any tension you're holding anywhere or anything you need to get rid of in that regard. And then eventually let that kind of naturally come to a stop when you're ready. And then either stop, and go about your day, or move on to whatever next exercise you want to do, whether it's more of these, or a jog, or some Aikido conditioning, whatever you might want to do. One other one I'd like to share with you tonight. This one's a bit more energetic, and particularly if you feel like you got to shout, and I think we're all going to feel that way at one point or another in this whole situation. So, here we're going to bring the body together tightly. Squeeze your legs together tightly. You're going to bring your hands palm up near your hips. Pull your elbows in toward your spine as much as you can. Open your shoulders. We're gonna take an inhalation. We're gonna jump down into a horse stance and kind of a double get on the eye or a double punch straight down between the legs into a squat. And this one comes with a ki or a shout. And the ki that Chiba Sensei used to use was bang! So it goes like this. Bang! And then from here, you're gonna pull everything up, pull your elbows back, right back to the starting position. Bang! 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 Like that. You can do as many as you want. You'll probably find if you do too many, you start to get a little dizzy. So don't make yourself dizzy. But again, great way to shout out some tension, some whatever's bothering you. Or again, just to focus your mind and clear everything else out. As our friend Adam Sorkin says about Misogi Harai, it's like taking a hammer and banging an iron fence to get the rust off. Sometimes that feels really good. So, we'll leave you with those. You can practice those on your own. Certainly we look forward to getting together and doing particularly the shouting stuff together at some point soon. I hope that's helpful, and stay tuned for more from Huron Valley Aikikai.